In today's video, I'm going to be telling you the 5 foods that you should never eat on the starch solution, why you shouldn't eat them, and what you should eat instead. Hello my honeys, it's Emmy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmy. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program, where you work with me as well as a mindset coach and a nutrition coach to lose weight on a plant-based diet. If you want to work with me, go to healthyemmie.org or just click the link in the down bar. If you've seen the videos that I've done with my parents, you'll know that my dad has lost over 60 pounds on a starch solution type diet. And when he first got started on it, he said, Emmy, you know, it's not really as important what you eat as it is what you're not eating. And he was right. I mean, he didn't eat certain foods his way 60 pounds down. He ate tons of amazing food, but it was just what he was avoiding that really did the trick. And let me show you some other before and afters from some of my personal private coaching clients that have gotten these results from not eating the foods that I'm talking about today. First off is meat. Meat is about 1,000 calories per pound, which means if you were going to eat a pound of meat, then you would eat 1,000 calories. And I know you're probably not going to eat a pound of meat, but this is just a unit of measurement to show us that meat is very calorically dense. This is in comparison to something like zucchini, for example. A pound of zucchini is only 75 calories in comparison to a pound of meat, which is 1,000 calories, which means that meat is a higher calorie food. And by incorporating these higher calorie foods, you're going to eat more energy than your body needs, which is going to prevent you from losing weight. Additionally, meat is high in saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Saturated fat raises your bad cholesterol, which is your LDL, which will elevate your risk of stroke, heart disease, and high blood pressure. I'm sure you've heard of healthy fats before. Saturated fats are not the healthy fats. Those are what we consider the unhealthy fats. And again, please don't get lost in the absolutes that I'm using here, like good, bad, healthy, unhealthy. And I'm sure a lot of people say you can have anything in balance, but this video is designed for people that are trying to lose weight on the starch solution. And so I'm going to use these terms so that you can be successful at this point in your journey, which is the weight loss journey. No meat. Animal products are also very high in cholesterol. If you yourself have high cholesterol because you're eating foods that are high in cholesterol, and we are what we eat, you'll develop fatty deposits in your blood vessels. Eventually, those deposits are going to grow, and then blood is not able to flow through your blood vessels, which means that you're at risk of heart attack and stroke because the foods are so high in cholesterol, they're making your arteries tight, and the blood isn't able to flow through them. Additionally, meat is very high in sodium. They actually take salt and inject it into the meat, which is why it's high in sodium. It's not naturally high in sodium, and probably why you actually enjoy the taste of meat. If you were to have meat that wasn't injected with sodium and just on its own, you really wouldn't like the taste of it. But it has the salt in it, and then it gets fried up with butter, and we put condiments on it, and then we put a bun on it, and by the time it goes down your mouth, it is very far from where it started. High sodium foods cause passive overeating. Sodium is an essential nutrient. That means that we cannot make it ourselves. We have to get it from the food that we eat. Now, sodium is very rare in nature, and because sodium is very rare in nature, we are really good at detecting when something has sodium in it. And the dopamine in our brains goes crazy when we have something that is high in sodium, because our brain says we've hit the jackpot. Sodium is not found in nature very commonly, and so I'm going to send you a lot of feel-good feelings when you eat something high in sodium. So it becomes a very pleasurable experience when you have a food that's high in sodium, and you're going to want to keep eating that food so that you keep getting that pleasure. So foods that are high in sodium will cause passive overeating. You also put yourself at risk for high blood pressure and stroke by having too much sodium in your diet. Now, you might be saying, Emmy, heart disease, stroke, high cholesterol, blah, 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 blah. Chlorophyll, borophyll. And listen, I hear ya. Those words mean nothing to somebody that's never had to deal with these things. Usually, people don't care about their blood pressure and stroke until they have high blood pressure or they've had a stroke. So because you have the luxury of not caring, please care. And I'm gonna give you some tough love right now because I know that it's what you need to hear. If you don't care about health and all you care about is weight loss, then that is the core problem here that's gonna keep you on this wheel of weight loss for the rest of your life. Because when you focus on health, you lose weight as a side effect, but when you focus on weight loss, you lose health as a side effect. I'm gonna say that one again and I'm gonna put it up on the screen. When you focus on weight loss, you lose health as a side effect, but when you focus on health, you lose weight as a side effect. Because if you are just focused on weight loss, you're gonna do some crazy things to lose weight and you're probably going to lose your mind in the process. When we focus on health, our body is going to fall to exactly where it needs to be. So please, I urge you to make the focus health and eat whole, real foods and not the foods that I'm talking about in this video. Food number 2, please don't eat this one. And if you can, please don't ever eat this one. Dairy. Dairy is liquid meat, but it's almost worse. Dairy is about 1,800 calories per pound. Again, you're probably not going to eat a pound of cheese, or maybe you are, but a pound of cheese is 1,800 calories, whereas a pound of zucchini is 75 calories. So cheese, dairy, it's very high in calories. It's also very high in saturated fat. Remember, saturated fat is the one that makes your bad cholesterol go up, increasing your risk of heart disease and stroke. It is also very high in sodium. We talked about what happens when you eat foods that are high in sodium, but dairy has something that is especially malignant, which is casomorphins. What are casomorphins? Well, let's go back to what is cheese, what is milk, what is dairy. Milk is the food that is designed for a baby calf. And it's designed to make that baby calf grow into a big old cow. It's designed to fatten up a calf. In order to make the calf like the milk, it has this little chemical compound known as casomorphins. That word morphin, that's a little bit familiar, and it looks a little bit like morphine, doesn't it? Morphine, yeah, that's probably something we should stay away from. This is no coincidence. The casomorphins have a morphine-like effect on the brain, and they give you that feeling. So if you feel like you're addicted to cheese, it's not just a feeling. Your brain is reacting in a similar manner as the brain reacts when it has morphine, a drug. So many people are walking around having an addiction-like relationship with dairy and cheese because of the effects on the brain. And if you are having an addictive-like reaction to a food, then you're probably eating more of it than you need. No dairy. Hey, if you are enjoying this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to turn on notifications. It really supports my channel. Thank you. Next up is eggs. Now, eggs are a little bit lower in calorie density. They're around the 800 mark, 800 calories per pound of eggs. And once again, but Emmie, I don't eat a pound of eggs. You don't eat a pound of eggs in a sitting, but over the course of a week, you would probably eat about a pound of eggs. And not only does that pound of eggs have a little bit more calories than something like zucchini or boiled potatoes or rice, but it also is chock full of saturated fat and cholesterol. The amount of cholesterol in a pound of eggs is astounding. It's actually about 1,700 milligrams of cholesterol, and one egg has almost 200 milligrams of cholesterol. Somebody that's at risk of heart disease is not supposed to have more than 200 milligrams of cholesterol per day, and the normal human is not supposed to have more than 300 milligrams of cholesterol per day. So 2 eggs is putting you over the recommended safe daily intake of cholesterol. Also, there was a study in which researchers found that having 1 egg per day was just as bad as having 5 cigarettes per day when it comes to heart health. The next food is, drumroll please, oil. Oil is 4,000 calories per pound. The most calorically dense food product on the planet is oil. It is pure fat. And people will say, Emmie, you need fat. Yes, you do need fat. You do not need oil. I'm gonna say that again. You need fat, you don't need oil. So why have olive oil when you can have the olive? Why have avocado oil when you can have the avocado? Why have peanut oil when you can have the peanut? Why have vegetable oil when you can have the vegetable? We we need not isolate these foods down into just the oil. Oil to fat is the equivalent of white sugar to carbs. It's the white processed table sugar of fat. So yes, you need your omega-3s. Have a tablespoon of flaxseed instead of having oil. And then the fifth and final food is anything labeled vegan. Usually when you go to the grocery store, you're gonna see things that are labeled vegan, and usually it's gonna be things that are not so healthy. You really shouldn't have anything that has a label on it, if we're being honest. But you'll see vegan cookies and vegan cupcakes and vegan pizzas and vegan sandwiches. These are not weight loss foods. Yes, they are vegan, they have the absence of animal products, but they are usually loaded with oil and salt and sugar and all of the things that are probably gonna keep weight on you. Just because it's a vegan muffin, it's still a muffin. Just because it's a vegan cupcake, it's still a cupcake. Just because it's a vegan pizza, it's still probably the same amount of calories as a pizza. Do we see this? I just don't understand. I'll never find him there. If you made it to this point in the video, comment hiding kitty because you see my little hiding kitty. If this is any foreshadowing for what my kids are gonna be like. If you wanna work with me and my team of mindset coaches and nutrition coaches, then please go to healthyemmie.org and I cannot wait to meet you. We'll get on a call, we'll talk about your goals, and we'll get this thing going. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next one.